Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and today I'm going to review the wild card of the NFL. There were some great games here in the first batch of the playoffs, and some major upsets as well. So I'm just going to get right into it. My record for these was 4-2. One, however, I was not able to pick in the video because it was too late for that video. That was the Buffalo Indianapolis game. That pick can be found in the discussion tab of my channel, as I mentioned in the last video. But let's get into that game. That was the Bills winning a close victory over the Colts 27 to 24. Allen was good, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he also rushed it 11 times for 54 yards and another touchdown. And then Rivers, 309 and 2 touchdowns. He was pretty good, but not quite good enough. Taylor rushed for 78 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, just not enough from the Colts to win this one, but it was a pretty good game. And the Bills will move on to the next round, the division round. And if you're not aware of how things work in the playoff, when a team loses in the playoff, they're out. Their road ends there. Then we have maybe the biggest upset of all, and that's the Rams beating the Seahawks 30 to 20. So the Rams started Wolford, who started his first game last week versus the Cardinals, and he was actually injured because they started him because Goff was still iffy. But Wolford gets injured, and they have to put Goff in, who's not 100%, but he was pretty good, throwing for 155 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Akers really led the Rams, though, rushing for 131 yards and a touchdown. And for the Seahawks, this Rams defense has continued to look great, forcing the Seahawks to a offense that couldn't get things going too good. Wilson, 11 of 27 for 174, 2 touchdowns, but also an interception. And Carlson rushed it for 77 yards on 16 carries. And just like that, the Seahawks are out of the playoff, and the Rams will advance. Okay, then we have Tampa Bay versus Washington, and Tampa Bay won a close one here, 31 to 23. Tom Brady threw for 381 and 2 touchdowns. A great game for him going against a good Washington defense. And Fournette, the leading rusher for the Buccaneers, rushed for 93 yards and a touchdown. And for the Washington football team, Smith was injured, so they started Heineke at quarterback, and he was pretty good, throwing for 306, a touchdown, and an interception. And he also rushed for 46 yards and a touchdown on 6 carries. But too much offense from Tampa Bay, and they win at 31 to 23. Then we have the 3 Sunday games, and the Ravens were able to beat the Titans 20 to 13. This was Lamar Jackson's first playoff victory, and he was not the greatest through the air, throwing for 179 and an interception, but I think he does need some better receivers. That's one thing that the Ravens could improve on in the offseason. But he rushed it 16 times for 136 yards and a touchdown, which definitely counters his struggles through the air. Although he really didn't struggle through the air, there's no touchdowns or anything like that. And then for the Titans, Tannehill, 165, a touchdown and an interception, so not the greatest from him. And Derrick Henry, a fantastic running back, held in check by these Ravens. 18 carries for only 40 yards. That's about 2 yards a carry. And so a really defensive game. I thought this one would be higher scoring. And the Titans defense also played pretty well. They had been struggling this season. But they played pretty well. But the Ravens, just Lamar Jackson, too much. and they win a close one, 20-13, to move on. Then we had the Bears versus the Saints, and the Saints were able to handle the Bears 21-9 in a low-scoring game. Mitchell Trubisky threw for 199 and a touchdown. Montgomery rushed for only 31 yards. And for the Saints, Breeds threw for 265 and 2 touchdowns, pretty good through the air. And Alvin Kamara had another good game. Didn't quite get 200 yards, though. 99 yards and a touchdown for him. And the Saints will move on following a 21-9 victory over the Chicago Bears. And then we have the second upset on Sunday night. This was the Browns, 48-37 over the Steelers. Yes, we did think the Steelers defense was pretty good before this. So the Browns, they started 28-0, so it was a blowout, and then the Steelers made it a little closer, but their rally was failed. And here are the stats. Mayfield throws for 263 and 3 touchdowns. Chubb rushes for 76 yards, but Kareem Hunt did pretty well as running back 2. He rushed it 8 times for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then for the Steelers, Roethlisberger, he threw it 68 times for 501 yards, 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. They were definitely flinging it around for the Steelers. Then Connor, 37 yards and a touchdown on 11 rushes, but ultimately the Steelers lose this game. The Browns do not look like what they've been in the past, which is not very good. And the Browns are for real. We'll see if they can get the win next week versus the Chiefs, though. And the Steelers are out, so offensive issues, defensive issues. Ever since their first loss, they just haven't quite been the same. And so, they lose that game by 11. So that's going to do it for this video. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and check out some of my other channels. There were 3 other channels in addition to this one. And this is the Sports Spiral. Bye.